Well, since the onset of the long-term Gardiner rehabilitation project in downtown April, drivers have certainly had to make a lot of adjustments.
And now we're learning even more about the impact of all that construction and the gridlock. CTV's Natalie Johnson has been doing a stellar job reporting on the impact, and she joins us live in the studio to talk about this. So we're getting a sense of some real data tracking from a company, Natalie, on the morning rush, the afternoon rush, how much traffic has really gone up. So explain how we came to find out all these startling numbers.
Yeah, these are actually some staggering statistics that really put a hard number on the problem that we already knew about. We've been talking for weeks now about the grievous gridlock on the Gardiner that really worsened once these most recent lane restrictions came into effect. Hearing from, thousands of people really impacted by this slowdown. But now we know exactly how bad the problem is. There's a company, a tech giant in Oakville called Geotab, and they do fleet management all over the world. They use artificial intelligence, GPS tracking, smart data to analyze their vehicles globally. Everything from whether the windshield wipers are on to whether the EV batteries are running low, to whether drivers are being safe and productive. And the VP of this company lives in Oakville, drives to the beach in Toronto's East End to see his in-laws every weekend, and he saw firsthand the problem with the lane restrictions on the Gardiner. It's a 30% cut to capacity, and he said, "Hey, we have the numbers. We specifically deal with data. Why don't we take a look at just how bad this problem is?" So what they did was they looked at 10,000 commercial vehicles that use the Gardiner every day. They looked at the numbers from 2 months prior to the construction starting and 2 months afterwards and compared them. And what they found was a 250% increase in travel times during the morning rush hour for these commercial vehicles. Similarly, in the afternoon rush hour, a 230% increase in travel time. And what that boils down to is an 80% increase in the amount of time that these vehicles are spending sitting in traffic.
Wow.
Those numbers are shocking. And of course, you're talking commercial vehicles, but of course, in amongst those commercial vehicles are the commuters, the people coming in from the 905s like this gentleman from Oakville and people from all over. I mean, it's having a wide impact at all. So I'm wondering, does the city have access to these numbers? Have they seen the similar data and what kind of an impact this could have? Because I mean, I think this was really spurred on by your 4-part series a couple of weeks ago, looking at all of the delays and dilemmas that this has led to.
Well, it's a great question, Nick, because so often when city council debates problems like this, they say, let's refer this back to staff. Let's start a study. We'll send people out to count the cars. That's a bit of an exaggeration, but they start from ground zero, right? When they look at these problems, when in reality, this kind of data already exists. There are companies that specialize in leading edge technologies to analyze these kinds of problems, and these statistics are already available for the politicians and the staff to take a look at. So the question really is, how do you take these numbers and apply them, use them in a really smart way to address the pressing issues facing the city? I spoke to the vice president of data analytics of Geotab and said to him, how do you hope that this data is used now that you've made it available? Here's what he had to say.
Okay.
I hope that people can realize that there's tools like this platform, like Altitude, that we have access to this data at scale, privacy compliant, all aggregate, can help be used to make some really intelligent decisions. So it's management by measurement. We can use management by measurement to help keep Toronto moving.
So have you taken these numbers to any of the councillors or the mayor yet? Have they seen what you now know?
We're going to be presenting it to the mayor later this morning. She has an event at 8:30, so we'll ask her thoughts on this. We know that council is going to be reporting back in July with a plan for an accelerated construction schedule. The timeline as it is now is 3 years for this construction, and there is political will to speed it up. But now that they have this information, they know that this kind of data exists, they can theoretically use it with the help of companies that specialize in it to even predict how various fixes might impact traffic. Like there is a path forward in using this artificial intelligence to actually map out solutions to the problems that exist.
Exactly, that's a positive, and we know that nothing exists in a vacuum. Local traffic, alternate roads also affected by this, and you have to wonder what it does to people's mental health and productivity overall on such a large scale. All right, Natalie Johnson, thanks so much for your reporting and for joining us this morning.
We'll look forward to that 6 o'clock tonight on CTV Toronto. Okay, Natalie, thanks for that.